And that means you got less. Les is outside. Less Stroud.
It's less Stroud and more Roland. See, because there's a lot of Roland. Oh, he hissed at me again. He does hiss like a cat.
Yes, he does.
He's cute.
He's adorable.
All right. Like a little kitty.
Hey, Les, welcome back to the show, brother.
How you doing?
How are you, man?
Yeah, just saw you on the TV.
Bad. Good. What's going on?
Just saw you on the TV. You were doing an interview. Doing a lot of press, are you?
Just a bit, not all that much.
Yeah, a little bit, huh?
Yeah, just a bit for the book and that. You know,
that's cool. Will to Live. Les Stroud, creator of Survivorman, dispatches from the edge of survival. This sounds serious.
Yeah, you need an echo on your voice.
Yeah, right. This does sound really serious. And it's got a picture of you on some homemade, like, raft going down a river. Why can't you just call a boat? Just call a boat up and go, could you help me out? I got to get down this river.
You know what? I went to the middle. This is what I do with every book. If it has a lot of pictures, I'm in. Les, I am in. A lot of photos in the middle of the book.
Dude, what is this?
Shots. This is him just doing dangerous stuff.
That's what you witchetty grub in Australia. That was actually, you know what that tasted? It tastes like a little piece of like pork rind filled with peanut Thai paste.
Oh, okay.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, it looks disgusting.
Delicious. What is it called?
Witchetty grub.
Witchetty grubs, like
Australia,
maggots, right?
Yeah.
What are they the larvae of?
I don't know. Something big and ugly.
All right, Les, what about that picture? You're in the snow with a snorkel? What?
Yeah, and buried under this. Yeah, I was buried under this an avalanche for Surviving Alaska one time with Discovery Channel that we did, and that was. I got claustrophobic. I started swearing at the cameraman at one point because he wasn't ready, and I was buried in the snow, and I was getting claustrophobic, and they had to pass me down a little tank of oxygen, and I was like, "Get your shot!" And I was just like,
"Wow,
I was freaking."
Yeah. How deep?
Not that deep. Only under under a few feet, but
right.
You know, I mean, it's claustrophobia, right?
Get the fuck out.
Oh, and you got pictures of one of my favorite episodes. Was the little light plane crash episode there?
Oh, yeah, that was cool. That was probably one of the most fun ones I ever did because that was almost I got to say, like being in my backyard because that wasn't too far. An area where I have a cottage and stuff like that. But I was way out in the bush, but I know that area really well, and it felt good being out there.
It was cool too because it involved so many things. It was surviving the elements, using your resources to get some. Make some shelter, and then a lot of improvising, using wires to make snares.
Yeah.
And you snared a rabbit?
Yeah, which was totally a fluke, and lucky to get that quick. You know what's really...
It was really... I was like, there's no way. Come on, he's going to snare that.
That was with 12 hours, the fastest I'd ever caught a rabbit.
That's something.
That plane I got from a plane wreckers, and we took it in, we put it in position so I can work with it and all that. And I look, and there was blood on the seat.
Oh, shit.
And I asked the guy later, I said, so what's the story behind it? He says, yeah, that was a double fatality. Like,
wow.
Thanks for telling me before I get out there.
Yeah,
so, it was kind of creepy.
A little creepy.
Yeah, it was totally creepy.
Listen, how are the hotels around the world?
They're awesome.
That's right.
Which
that's
ones?
not you.
Yeah, wrong guy.
That's the other guy.
Yeah.
I just wanted to.
What do you take
now?
What do you take in the wild with you when you go? Like they'll put you in there to see how you can survive. Do you bring water or any of that stuff or nothing?
When it was Survivorman, each sort of thing was a little bit slightly different. Some raw seal meat in the Arctic, a little bit of water in the desert. You know, it depended on what I was doing. Because I was trying to make the survival story fit to what's going on. And when I say stories, because I'm there to really sort of go through this survival odyssey and then tell the story. And it's like, okay, well, what fits here? So I had like a Land Rover in the desert, or a dog team in the Labrador, that sort of thing.
Do you get stung by bees a lot?
I hate bees. That's the one thing that it's like in the jungle. The worst thing. One of the stories in the book is about Yossi Ginsburg, and he had everything happen to him. He was like 19 days in the jungle, in the Amazon jungle, and at one point, on one day alone, he slides down a mud embankment and impales his anus.
Oh man!
Fuck.
And about 2 hours later, he's like crawling through the bush, and he stumbles on a hornet's nest. And in the Amazon jungle, hornets, which are like they make like
and he puts his hand
hornets
in
are
the
pussies
nest?
compared to the Amazon jungle.
Wow.
Hornets, yeah. And it's just like everything went wrong. But hornets are the one thing that always kind of like, I'm always like, okay, everything's going on, but if I run into a hornet's nest, I'm done. Man.
But bees in the jungle. I can think of another letter I wouldn't like to see in the jungle. Anyway.
But wait, when you stumble on hornets, are there nests in the air, or do you kick them by mistake?
You go,
Nests in the air, kick them by mistake.
Have you seen them?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, that's not fun. Oh, wait a minute. Who's the Ozzy Osbourne fan?
I am.
Oh,
right. You know what? I just did up. I was asked to. I played harp on the Wizard on a Tony Iommi tribute album up north. They're putting together. All the original members of Black Sabbath, different members were playing on the album, and I went and blew the harp for the Wizard. And I met Tony Iommi years ago when I was producing much music up in Canada.
Did you play with Tony on that?
No, it's a tribute album for him.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, so it was awesome. Yeah, so I know it's a total tangent on the book.
No, that's cool, man.
Cool.
Yeah, I knew somebody was an Ozzy fan.
Jimmy's the biggest Ozzy fan.
I do
There's
love
no
him.
one bigger.
Well, I told you know what I did was they said, well, just come. And of course, I listened to Ozzy's playing. And Ozzy's harp playing is not the best harp playing, but so I went in and I had to do this thing, and so I said, well, can I just like give it? And he said, yeah, give it. So I actually went sort of Jimi Hendrix harp on the beginning of the whole thing.
Harp? Do you mean harmonica or no?
Harmonica.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For the Wizard.
I'm thinking, you know, I know. Yeah, but when he said harp, I'm thinking
silly.
heaven music. I'm like, that doesn't make,
Yeah.
Okay.
Harp. Sorry. Slang for harmonica.
Oh, okay.
Blues slang for harmonica. Like, I mean, you got a harp with you, buddy.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of. So, no, yeah, it was totally awesome. So I just freaked it out, and the guys loved it. So
That's
we got
great.
this whole sort of me on harmonica, Jimi Hendrix sort of intro to the Wizard, and then they go into classic Wizard.
Oh, right on.
I would love to play fucking on an Iommi, just a tambourine, anything that a non-musical man could play. I'll tap my feet like Larry Craig.
Les, what was the
Thank you.
what was the worst thing you ate in the wild? That question. I
Worst thing, you know what?
understand,
The last show of Beyond Survival, which was the series Beyond Survival.
Sure.
That was the series the latest series I've got that they're running. It's I went in and I ate a sago grub, which looked like the witchetty grub in that book. But it was like feet away from a wild pig that they trapped, and pig mud everywhere. It was really disgusting, and this thing was undulating, and kids are hanging it from their mouth. And so I go and I eat it, and it was really disgusting. It was rank,
that
man.
is nasty.
What did it taste like?
I don't know, puke or something. It was just gross. It was just like, can
Can you keep that?
You know what it was?
Can you keep it down though?
Well, I actually said in the shot, I said, you know that moment when you're out for dinner and you're having a wicked steak and you put in a piece of grizzle you didn't mean to eat, and you're sitting there and you're starting to sweat and you're looking for a piece of bread, and it's like, oh my God, I can't swallow this, but I can't like spit it out. And it was like one of those moments. I was like, oh God, how am I going to get this
Because they expect
down?
you to keep it down.
Yeah,
they don't
well,
expect you to throw
you don't
it
want to
up.
insult them.
Right.
Get a bunch of shamans in the middle of the jungle who finished tattooing me with a rusty nail, and they're like, yeah, but I'm going to spit out your food. Cause
If you're starving to death, would you, like, that looks hideous. But if you're starving, your body would keep that in, like, right? Like, your body has to know that.
Yeah, you get over plate fright pretty quick. That's all. It's all about plate fright, right? That's why people eat just about anything. You go, most people go 7 hours without food, and they'll eat just about anything. You go 3 days, scorpions look good.
Wow.
Especially if someone says, this is good for you, you can eat it. And especially if they eat it first in front of you, then it's like, all right.
How do you eat a
Give
scorpion?
it to me.
Just take the tail off, I guess.
You just you got to carefully nip the tail off, and then you can eat. And it's like, it's like eating a little shrimp. Same family, right?
Do you kill it while it's dead? I mean, do you kill it or eat it alive?
I
know.
On the original Survivorman, and I ate it for live. That was pretty much just showmanship, eating it alive. But you cook it on a barbie, and then you get like this, like on a shish kebab, and then you get a nice little crispy. It's like eating little chicken wing ends or something. Yeah, it tastes awesome.
Not bad?
Not bad at all. It tastes like little shrimps.
Wow. The Chinese like weird.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing is sometimes you'll see on different survival shows that everything looks so gross. Oh, this is really gross. You know what? No, it's not. You're just making it look gross. It actually tastes good.
We were talking about it earlier. An Idiot Abroad is a new show, and the guy went to China, and he was watching a guy eat a fetus, like the eggs.
Chicken, chicken eggs are
chicken eggs. So they let
fertilized, and they're growing in there, and
they
then
let
eat
them,
it like
they let them develop a little bit, and then it's a delicacy, and they showed the guy taking the shell off, and it was developing fucking.
Well, it's and all like up in northern Quebec, they eat this stuff where they used to take the stomach of a caribou, they'd put all of the organs of the caribou into the stomach, hang it from a tree for about 2 weeks in the summer. And then come back, and that's a delicacy. So what people eat around the world is amazing.
The stomach of a caribou hung in a bag?
No, it is the bag.
Yeah, that
right?
is the bag.
And they put all the organs inside it, and they let it rot for 2 weeks.
Stomach back there?
And then they eat it.
I just gagged.
It's like haggis.
I just gagged a little bit. Are there flies on it when they come to it?
There's everything on it. Yeah.
Did you try it?
It's disgusting. But you could eat we could eat way. That's the thing is we could eat way more than what we think we can.
It's safe or
we
not,
could eat a lot more. People think, oh, you touch anything raw. And stuff. Like,
do they get food poisoning, you think?
No. But you know what? It's not going from truck to shelf to wrapper to shelf to your plate.
But there's probably bugs on it, though. How do you eat it with bugs on it, with flies?
Eat the bugs.
Bugs don't...
Eat the bugs.
What the fuck? The rest of the world is awful. I hate the planet. What the shit? Get a fucking burger. What are you doing? Who looks at that and goes, let's hang the fucking stomach?
Hey, wait a minute. Didn't Ozzy eat a dove?
He did, yes, but that was for the record contract.
Okay.
I was just being ironic. I got to ask you something about the production of the show. Yeah. Now, you're alone.
Yeah.
When you do this.
Yeah.
Those long shots you do, now you got to set the camera up on a tripod and then kind of walk across at a distance.
Yeah.
And then go back, get the camera, because it's a very majestic look, but it seems like something that you wouldn't do to just like, hey, here, I have a handheld camera. It is just for pure production value.
Well, yeah, the whole thing was when I first started, I did this. I started in 2001, right after Survivor Series hit big. Then I came on with Survivorman, and everything sort of flowed from that. The reality was that I could do the home video thing, and it looked like a home video. It'd be crap. You wouldn't want to watch a show. But I'm also a filmmaker, right? So I had a lot of passion in my filmmaking. Okay. So I had to say, well, if I'm going to present what it's like to survive in the desert, I also want to tell the story properly and well, and use good cameras and good camera angles. And so my passion drove me to climb the cliff and put the camera up and show where I had to go and do all that stuff.
Okay, that I wasn't sure about your filmmaking background.
Yeah, I used to produce much music, and I rock videos, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because I picture every time I see one of those shots, I'm like, that son of a bitch climbed up that thing, popped a friggin' tripod, got the shot, focused, and then went down, walked across, had to check it, make sure it was good. It's like, Jesus Christ, it's taking a while.
I'm not
no wonder
it.
he's starving eating bugs.
I'm not buying it.
No,
he's not buying it.
Time to admit you had another guy the whole time.
Yeah, I had a whole team of guys, crew, absolutely. Stunt coordinators, safety climbers,
that's
all
not
of it.
him.
Right.
It looks like when Shatner's fighting in Star Trek. Like, who's that guy? I hate him.
I got to ask the little boy question, man. Were you ever scared sleeping in the middle of nowhere by yourself?
In the dark?
I used to go camping here once in a while. And we would be maybe a mile from everybody else, and I was scared shitless. I can't fucking fun and make believe I wasn't scared.
Yeah,
Every fucking noise drove me nuts.
Well, the worst for me was probably in Africa. Because lions, polar bears, great white sharks, they're opportunistic eaters, right? So they are predators, and they'll eat you if they got opportunity. We can sugarcoat it, but that's the way it is. Yeah. And so when I was in lion territory, that and polar bear territory, but lion territory kind of freaked me out. I listened to a lion attack happen just a few hundred yards away, and I was sleeping around like thorns all around me, and it was. Oh gosh, I can't remember.
He was attacking
Something
an animal.
died. Some ungulate died. Some hoofed animal was dinner that night. And,
so you slept in thorns. Why? So they wouldn't stumble on you?
Yeah, it's just a way of survival in Africa. You build these thorn corrals, or talk about sleeping out in the wild, right? But you have to build the thorn corral around and then go to sleep. And it's not going to stop a lion. It's just going to slow him down a bit. Right?
Yeah,
so that's the key.
And you're not really sleeping. You're opening that eye and just waiting for that sun.
If you
to
get 20 minutes, that's like a good slumber.
Yeah. How do you defend yourself? Do you have any weapons with you of any kind?
Maybe a club or something like that. The odd show up, maybe had a bow and arrow that I've had, but not much. Just defend yourself with doing it right, building the thorn corral. Like I built that corral, and then I also built it around a tree base so that if it was coming in at me, at least I could go off the tree then. So you got an escape route. Always got to have an escape route.
Yeah, what are you going to do? If he can't get through the thorns, you're going to have trouble going out the other end of the thorns.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're just trapped. You're like a big thorn bowl.
And that's assuming there's only like one of them. Could be like a buffet of lions coming in.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Look, I'm eating out of a thorn bowl. This is great.
Yeah, this is a little spiky, but this guy's delicious. What about polar bears are scary? They're huge, aren't they?
Yeah, polar bears, for a polar bear, they're beautiful, and you might be able to scare them away and all, shoot a shotgun up in the air with it, but the reality is you're a big walking pink seal to them. They're opportunistic eaters, just like a great white shark. Most animals are not predators. They really don't want you. They want to. Even grizzlies don't want you. They could care less. But polar bears are different.
I gotta say for the marine biologists out there, because my brother is one. He would disagree with the great white thing.
About it being a predator?
Yeah. What ends up happening is they bump into you thinking you're something else. They do bite, and then they don't want anything to do with you. In most cases.
In most cases. What about the cases where they don't? You're right. He's right. The reality is that they do a taste test. The problem is that their taste test, you lose an arm.
Yeah,
they literally go, I wonder what that is.
Right.
Nibble, and then there goes my leg on the nibble, and we call it a shark attack.
Right.
That said, they certainly
That's
have.
bad enough,
Yeah, it's
obviously.
bad enough, and
But
they've eaten before.
I just had to bring it up because I don't want to deal with the call from my brother
But something
later.
tells-
He's right,
It's something they argue all the time that they really don't want to eat humans.
Something tells me also a hungry shark is going to eat you.
Sure.
It doesn't, like, he might be like, oh, well, this ain't as good as a seal, but, you know.
And he's right, though. I mean, I spend a lot of time defending polar bears and great white sharks and lions for the bad rap they get. But in the end, no matter which way you slice it, people have been eaten by lions, people have been eaten by tigers and great whites and polar bears.
And what I said doesn't matter because if you're in the water and you see a shark, you're not going, well, they don't really want me. I'm staying in here.
This one's got
he's
got a nice look in his eye. He'll be all right. Yeah.
Did you swim with sharks?
I've hand fed tons of. I mean, I did Shark Week for 3 years, right?
Yeah.
I scuba dive. I haven't in a while because I had a kid. Unfortunately, not unfortunately for that, but unfortunately for my hobby.
That you know of, anyway.
Wow. And every time we jump in, you know, the dive instructor's like, oh, hopefully we'll see a shark today. And I'm the guy going, fuck, I don't need to see a fucking shark. There's plenty of cool stuff down there. I don't want to see one of those things.
It's awesome, though. I've ridden on the backs of tiger sharks and Caribbean reef sharks, hand-fed great whites, and it's pretty awesome when you're down there and you see shark. It changes the diving experience.
Have you ever seen, help me out, largest animal, blue
whale?
Is it the blue whale?
Blue whale's 100 yards.
Huge, yeah.
Have you ever seen one of those?
How do you know that?
Because I went to marine biology
100
college.
yards.
I lied.
not.
I
Have
just
not
remember that.
seen,
I remember that when I was a kid.
You went to the Museum of Natural History.
No, when I was a kid in school, they were talking about blue whales. They said it's as big as this auditorium. And they said it was 100 yards. And I was like, oh, I just remembered that fact.
Is that true? They're that big?
Yeah, they're. I mean, what I'm hoping to do is get in with a whale shark. I haven't done the whale shark dive thing yet, which is pretty awesome. The only whales I've seen is the killer whales up in the west coast of Canada. I've sea kayaked. I got chased by a sea lion and sea kayaking past killer whales, which is pretty awesome. In the water itself, lots of sharks and tons of sharks, but because I'm there for that, and I was there for Shark Week, right? But and of course we're feeding them. We're throwing chum in the water. It brings them all around.
That's a blue whale.
Yeah.
Wow.
I learned a lot about them when I was on a Japanese fishing boat. My friends and I getting lamp oil and fun trinkets. Shitty culture. Fucking savages. There's 8 whales left. Them and their little dicks. They can't stop killing.
8 whales.
I can't stand that stupid
Yeah, you
murder
don't like
whale.
that whole
It
thing.
annoys me. Fucking whale fin. If you eat whale fin, you should just be shot. Unless you're surviving, it's different.
You saw the Cove, right?
It made me want to fucking just bomb them all over again. I was so irritated.
Wow.
Really annoyed me, that lack of respect for fucking...
Yeah.
Rick O'Bear is is a friend of mine, and yeah, absolutely. When I was in Malaysia with the Sea Gypsies on Beyond Survival, we were talking through an interpreter, and they're shark finners. I was like, yeah, well, no. And I asked us, well, where's, like, they're saying there's no sharks here. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean you don't have any sharks here? They used to have tons of sharks there. Oh, they went away somewhere. I was like, they went away. Well, it's because you finned them all and sold them to the market.
But then they throw them back in alive, like with their fins cut off. They have no. What happens is after you get the shit kicked out of you in a world war, and you're so humiliated as a nation, honestly, you just lose regard for all of the life. I really believe that's what happened.
Really?
How could you be such a fucking? Hunting is one thing. How could you cut the fins off something and throw it back alive? What kind of a terrible culture
cool.
are you?
Yeah.
That you could do that. What am I talking about? Shut up.
No, it's very
Sorry.
Probably seems very cool.
You know, it's a bizarre thing, though. You
it's-
get all around the world and you look at the like all these, like with Beyond Survival, with all those cultures that I survived with. It's really hard because, yeah, a lot of them are doing things that to them they grew up with, and you're going like, oh man. But you're right. In the bigger nations, you just want to go, come on.
They don't know any
You
better.
guys have scientists. You guys have experts. Come on, you know what you're doing, and I agree. I mean,
It's probably because
they know what's going down.
It's efficient.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Where
They
it's
don't care.
efficient
They don't
for what
care.
they're doing.
Where are the
It's
most... Oh, I'm sorry.
No. So it's different in the jungle if you're hunting and you're eating, and if you're using saliva as a lubricant or a beverage, kill what you want. If you think caribou guts are delicious when they're spoiled, you know what? Kill what you want.
Spoiled, hanging from a tree. Yeah. Where's the most, and what was the most primitive culture you ever encountered?
Probably, I don't know if you guys saw these. Probably the last show, which was the Mantuai in the Indonesian jungle, and they tattooed me with a rusty nail and a stick. And, well, here.
Why did you allow that?
Yeah, let's see that. Wow.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
So I got one on each shoulder, and they do this. If you watch the show, they have this little stick thing, and it's like.
Yeah, I've seen that,
and
it looks to be a bit painful.
It was, you know what? On the other shoulder, they did it, and then they tried to explain to me, the shaman didn't put enough ink in. We have to do it again. And so it's like going over. You got a cut already, and then you stab the cut. It was like that all over again. And I was like, okay, here we go.
How long did it take?
Holding it. It was hours.
Les, can I tweet
hours.
that?
Yeah, of course.
Wow,
People got to see that.
Is
homemade
something.
tattoo with a rusty nail.
Oh man, but they
Aren't you worried
were
about
pretty primitive.
Yeah, they were like they're beautiful,
yeah,
you know,
look at
and
that.
Stone
Wow.
Age.
Wow.
Damn you! Oh man.
Were you worried about getting tetanus or something, or?
No, they rubbed me with like plants and things after, and in the stream.
Putting it on this person's head.
Yeah, that's what I had done. Exactly. That's what we're watching there with the stick. And
What does that tattoo mean? Does that
well,
mean
you know,
to-
that's the thing, and I say it in the show. Everybody's got like intense meaning. You know what they end up telling me? They just like to make themselves look cool. You know,
Okay.
so much for the big spirit. Now, there is a story. Like, these ones are supposed to be in relation to their relationship to the sun, which at one point they pushed farther back from the earth with their bows and arrows. And so, but in the end, they just like to look.
Guys.
They just like to look good.
Yeah. Hot.
Thanks for doing that.
You see the video that I think it just popped last week of that tribe where the guy flew over in the plane.
Yeah.
They were never discovered before or whatever.
They've been known
and it was the first contact or the first video taken of these guys.
Maybe that might be the case, but they've been known about for a long time. I mean,
What tribe is it again?
I don't know the name, but there's 70 uncontacted tribes in the Amazon jungle. And when I was in there with the Waorani, 16 or so miles or so away was a tribe called the Tagade, which were very aggressive. They were an offshoot. And they said, you know, if we go down there in ones or twos, they'll just kill us. If you go down there in a big group, you'll never find them. And I was doing my Survivorman thing just upriver from them.
What's
the whole
wrong
week,
with
I'm like,
you?
oh, you got to be kidding me. Well, I didn't know until I got there, and then they tell me, it's like, well, this is
Tagade?
great. Tagade.
They're
yeah,
so
something.
isolated because they all have AT&T service.
They don't fuck around though; they'll kill you. Not even think twice.
Well, because they're just protecting
and
themselves.
they
right?
I'm sure they don't have laws.
No, their law. You know,
Yeah, their
They have
law is
cra-
their
they-
law.
The Waorani, really wonderful people that I learned from. But man, they were listed as the most violent people in history at one point.
Wow.
Yeah, like these are the people back in '57 or so massacred 5 missionaries.
Till they
and I
moved
met
to
one of the
Camden.
guys. A guy named Dewey was one of the guys involved in that massacre, and he was like a really beautiful man. But he was like, for them, they thought they were being, you know, there was this whole thing that went on, and someone said, "Oh, they're here
is
to
that like where
kill
they
us and that."
took the rock and like,
It was no, they speared them all.
oh man.
Speared. Yeah, it was-
They thought
but-
they were being attacked?
Yeah, and then what they never had in this culture, they never had the culture of forgiveness. They didn't know what forgiveness was, so every single thing that happened was a vendetta, killing. Like, oh well, you tripped and hurt your ankle. Well, that must be your fault because I don't like you anyway, and you must have put that on me, so I need to kill your son. And it was just go on and on, and then now that and it just go back and forth like this.
We have
But
ancestors.
it's not
from
like
them.
that now.
It's called management here.
I love.
Bad radio show. We're taking your firstborn.
I love all the shots you're taking. God bless you.
Why not?
Hey, I'm going to trust someone on Twitter. I don't know this, so in case it's bad, I don't know. You got a Bigfoot story? Please ask Les
maybe.
Stroud about his Bigfoot story.
Maybe.
He means the guy in Strike Force. Did
Do
you
I have
find
to?
him? Oh, sorry.
Is it?
It's a real story. Yeah.
I would love to hear it if you want to tell
yeah.
it.
All right. Well, when I was shooting, was this Beyond Survival? No, Survivorman in Alaska. And it was not my first experience out there with something like this. It's the second time. And I was doing a shot. You know, you've seen Survivorman. You know, I do the shots and that. And then the camera was put away over there. And I was just like, in between shots, I'm still working. So I got to grab some more grass. I'm getting more grass and shit. And I hear this big rustle in the tree not too far from me. And I freeze, right? Because all the hairs went up in the back of my neck. And I've been around grizzlies and moose and bear and all. But this was different. It felt weird. And I'm looking over at the camera. I'm thinking, okay, hang on a second. If I could even just flip it on for the audio. But it was too far away, and I'm just standing there, and I hear this rustle. And then I hear this, all right? Now, I've heard everything in the bush. I've never heard a moose do that or a bear do that. To me, that sounds like an ape, right?
Wow.
And he did it about 5 more times, really loud, 50 yards away. And then when I finally made a movement to go get the camera, he went crashing off through the bush. I was like, the rest of that week out there alone, I was just like, holy crap. And so I'm not going to say what it was. I don't know what it was.
Is it possible it was an ape?
Was there?
Well, okay. Let me ask you a question. If somebody says to you, someone says, "Do you believe in Bigfoot?" You're going to roll your eyes and go, "I don't know."
I call him
Sasquatch, Sasquatch, buddy.
Yeti.
But if someone says to you, "Do you think it's possible that small pockets of bipedal ape populations exist hidden away in the dark corners of the world that have a strong intuitive sense and sense energy?" And then that's a different question to ask.
Yes.
Then do you believe in Bigfoot? And you go, oh,
Wouldn't we have found them already, though? There's a whole bit.
Well, what about the fish? Those fish they found off New Jersey and the Philippines, thought extinct for 500 million years. They find like thousands of them in a school.
It's not like a fish is going to end up in your garbage pail in your backyard, rummaging for food.
And then you've got millions of anecdotal references from people who say, I had this and this happened, and rocks are thrown at me. And
What fish?
Yeah.
Silicont, I think it was called.
Silicont?
Silicont.
That's a funny female comedian.
Here we go.
Jimmy.
Show over.
Someone had to go
doing
there.
better than that one.
What?
Wait.
That did not come from me.
No, of course not.
I think it would be tougher to discover everything living in the oceans.
Sure would, yeah.
But as far as on land, you really think there's stuff out there we still haven't discovered?
Yeah,
and I'm not talking
for
about
sure.
maybe tiny shit.
Yeah.
I'm talking about sizable shit.
They're still finding mammals in Papua New Guinea and birds and things like that, and that's fairly sizable. I mean, it's not like they've gone out and done the whole sort of army satellite heat camera thing to try and find Sasquatch. They haven't done that,
But why haven't we?
It's always. I don't know. Money.
There's so much interest in the
It'd be cool if
Bigfoot
someone.
thing.
I've been asked to do it as
Why
a series.
haven't we really fucking gone out there and answered this question once and for all?
Let's just get one and kill it.
And why haven't we found any dead ones?
That was always my question.
That's a good.
But then the question is, how often do you find a dead moose?
I would imagine
Because within
often.
moments, it's eaten up.
that's
Wolves,
kinda
ravens,
true.
coyotes. When you find a dead bear, it dies.
But
Wolves,
we have found them.
I haven't found any, but have you found? I mean, when, where?
Or maybe some
it happens.
antlers.
Rarity, yep.
Byproducts thereof.
But you got to go. Okay, but that's because there's millions or hundreds of thousands of moose.
It's hard to
if there's
argue
only
with that
like
because you're in the woods
8.
more than me, but
Well, let's say there's only 8 Sasquatch here and 4 over there and 3 over there. Now you're trying to find that dead skeleton.
Yeah.
Like, I agree with you. Why haven't we found any skeletons? Because, then it's like, wait a minute, there's hundreds of thousands of moose. That's why, a hunter stumbles upon a skeleton, but I guess they have footprints, right? And rocks thrown.
So many of them have been hoaxed, though. The footprints, like the biggest ones,
That's
have
what
all
fucks
been
it up.
admitted as hoaxes. Even the guy in the
camera
with the Bigfoot, where it looks like he's actually trying to do some kind of a shuffle.
He is dancing.
Best part was when Jim Carrey did that in the Who remake when they shot of him as the Grinch in the same pose.
It is such an obscure reference, but everyone.
I
seems
know.
to
I like that. I was seeing if you were awake for that one.
California
Too early in the
woods.
morning for that?
No, I love
Well,
that.
you knew it. You got it,
Oh,
though.
I know that one. Yeah, it's great.
These guys have blank
1967.
faces
I
on
used to watch those all the time. In Search of.
Arcane reference.
Leonard Nimoy.
Hey, what do you think they're going to find under the? They're drilling in this lake that's been covered by ice for like
Monsters.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's
Sasquatch.
for like 13
Frozen
million years
Sasquatch.
Frozen.
in Russia. The Russia, or it's in Greenland or something. It's been covered by ice for like 13 million years, and they're drilling into it to see what's alive. Because I think there's still water underneath.
Really?
Yeah,
And it's been isolated.
yeah. I'll Google it because I didn't just totally stop the conversation
no,
with,
that's fine.
with a dumb childlike
The thing that
question.
freaks me out on the deep drilling, all that, is when they get into, and I don't know about this, but it's the whole, like, how deep are they tapping into? What are they tapping into in terms of earthquake zones and water zones? And that's the stuff that's kind of freaky. Is like, when is that just conspiracy crap, or is at some point someone's going to tap into a vein of something that just goes, thank you, bang?
Yeah. Pressure release. Yeah.
exactly.
It's a lake in Antarctica. It's been isolated from everything else on Earth for 15 million years.
Probably going to find rock and water.
Yeah, maybe that.
That's great.
We've confirmed there's rocks down there.
It's beneath 13,000 feet of ice. That's like what, almost 4 miles? It's
It's a big skating rink.
That's
Yeah,
a lot
3 miles.
of ice.
yeah.
Damn, that's a lot of ice.
Imagine if there's a guy underneath. Like, what the fuck?
Hey, thanks. Been waiting.
Or a hat store.
Cro-Magnon man down there.
Yeah, just
Something totally bizarre.
they're looking to, I guess, clone a mammoth or mastodon.
It's going to happen within 6
Do the
years.
Jurassic
some
Park
of
thing?
the permafrost. Yeah. Take some of the DNA, take a cell, use an elephant, I guess, to get the cell to start dividing. Use that little electrical charge, bam, and then maybe have a little woolly mammoth.
Well, clearly Steven Spielberg showed that it was possible.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, that would be interesting though to be able to see that.
It's probably coming.
A moral
the
question,
Jurassic Park is probably not that far off. It's probably coming. Yeah,
that is a little
and the moral
creepy,
question will just be shelved in the name of science anyway. So.
And amusement parks.
Yeah, they had another article on the woolly mammoth. It's happening. They're hoping within 6 years.
Really?
There it is. This article just hit a couple days ago.
They look like they
we were just talking
smell.
about
So I just clone woolly mammoth in 5 years. Jeez.
I'd pet one, but they'd probably stink.
Well,
I guess because they've
fur.
got actual organic material now, not just fossil, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
they pulled that out of. I think it was the Arctic. They've got.
God, look at that thing. It just looks.
But it's like,
so
what are they going to do with it once it's cloned?
Put it in a zoo and
They're
charge
not,
people.
They're not starting
right.
small, are they? It's like, we're going to clone a
Yeah.
cricket. We decided to start with the woolly mammoth just to see.
That is something. Oh, Dolly the sheep. Yeah, they cloned
that's
that
right.
thing.
It would be great, though.
Wooly the mammoth.
Yeah, but nature said goodbye to that fucking monstrosity 10 million years ago. They obviously
Well,
they
a few
weren't meant
hundred.
to be here.
Maybe 100,000.
Big dumb hairy elephant.
10,000
It's like an
years ago.
elephant in a vest. Fuck it. I like regular elephants.
In a vest.
I don't need that.
They may want to be here, though.
That's true. I'm sure
I'm
they'll
back.
be happy.
Yeah. Hey. Whew.
Hey, remember me?
That would be odd though to
Yeah.
see things like that, and then dinosaurs would just be ridiculous. I don't think the climate would be very good for dinosaurs though. Now.
In a city that hate it.
No, I don't mean the city. I mean like,
Cats running over their dumb
The
feet.
social climate. The social climate's all wrong. You know?
Yeah, they never adopt a political correctness.
fantastic.
Their little teeny arms. Dinosaurs are dicks.
I'm
They're just pissed
definitely
off. They
gonna.
can't reach their penis. What are you gonna
I'm definitely reading this one though. 'Cause
Yeah.
this is like right up my alley. You'd be a great guy to have around for an apocalypse or something, like or zombie invasion.
do? Yeah.
anything where you need.
You know, you touched on something there. So
Yeah.
all I'm going to say is there's something coming on that with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's all I can say.
All right, and I might have an idea what it is, but okay, all right. That's kind of cool because zombies have just taken off. People
Holy crap.
are really fascinated with the whole zombie thing and what contingency plans, what you would do,
Oh, yeah.
what works, what doesn't work, and it is fascinating.
I know
even
people
though they're
that
completely,
I know people that actually go to a city and they scope out the escape route first. It's like, okay, what's my escape? In case the zombie apocalypse happens while we're
Right.
visiting your aunt in Milwaukee,
You gotta know where
I want
to
to know
go.
where we go.
That's prepared.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
That's
what it is.
preparedness.
It's yeah. My son's big into the whole Call of Duty zombies.
Oh, yeah,
he's
yeah.
like killing zombies every afternoon.
Yeah,
It's
Call of Duty Zombies is pretty fun to play.
yeah,
that's
pretty
a
wild.
good one.
It's. I think it's bigger than vampires now. The whole zombie thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the one movie genre that's never taken a loss. Every zombie
Zombies?
movie makes a profit.
Wow.
Every single
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
They are just.
It's bizarre.
People love that whole concept of having to survive in that post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
And especially when you get, throw zombies in. But I think any kind of post-apocalyptic survival thing is intriguing to people. I know I love it. I think I would love to see that part of history. See
Looks like the road.
end of the
It's,
world.
well, it's off the scale too. It's off the scale survival. It's not like when we do,
Right.
the expansion of Survivorman and the camping and all of that sort of stuff. This is off the scale stuff. Now it's like, all right, and then you throw in the fantasy, which is the zombies.
Yeah, now.
Or just the apocalyptic, like the road. It's like, okay, that's why the road, I guess, did, because you're watching the road, going, okay, that almost kind of makes sense. That's kind of what it would. Hey, that's kind of what it'd be like, There's no zombies. It's just
But
walking.
there's horrid people that would do you harm with no laws, no
Yeah,
consequences.
Is the road good?
Yeah, I liked the road.
The book?
I read the book.
Book?
I liked the
That
book.
was that was about a guy and his son who survived the apocalypse,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I should read that because I've heard it. It's
Yeah,
a
the
huge
book. I
bestseller.
never saw the movie. Which
Who's
is
in the
stupid.
movie?
Morkinson.
Vigo.
I think our
Vigo.
our boy Michael K. Williams has a role in that too, right? Is that
does
the one
he?
he's in?
I don't know.
Does he?
I think so. Omar.
Guy and his, I hope they match the father and son up right. That'd be
Someone
terrible.
help me out with that. Hey, got a good question coming in
I
from
liked
Rick in D.C. We got Les Stroud in studio, Survivorman, who's got a new book, Will to Live, Dispatches from the Edge of Survival. There you go. Rick, what's up?
Hey, Jimmy doesn't like milk. He hates milk, but I wanted to know from Les, what's the weirdest milk he's ever drank, and did he drink it directly from the tap?
That's a good question. Weirdest milk.
Weirdest milk. Man, just bad milk. But not on Survivorman. It was a hunting situation and moose.
Moose milk.
Yeah, and blood.
That's got to be gamey.
Yeah. This blood and moose milk?
Well, it's I think isn't milk kind of like blood with just the white platelets or something? I don't know. I'm talking on.
Jesus.
Is that what milk is?
Isn't it? I think
doesn't-
I checked. I don't know. You'd have to Google that. I think I think that's the deal there. But like Jimmy, I'm not. Oh, here we got the dairy board after me. I'm not a fan of milk at all. My kids haven't drank milk ever.
No, I haven't had it in years.
I would love to do the. Yeah, no, I think the whole. Oh, the milk board's gonna hate me.
They're saying no, it's not that
calcium thing, and no, is milk blood without the hemoglobin?
They're saying no.
No, it's not.
It's got the same pH resemblance.
I just know I don't drink milk.
I don't either. No,
makes your breath stink.
With that, we definitely got to get Les out. I'm hearing you got phone calls and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We don't want to.
Yeah, I'm frightfully busy. Got to go, man.
Very busy man.
Book looks great.
Thank you.
Loving all the pictures, and God, love having you on the show too.
Thanks,
Les.
Yeah, Les is a good guy.
We look forward to your next
that.
project.
Very exciting.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
Love
Les
the
Stroud,
show.
everyone.
Thanks,
The book's called
Thanks, man.
Will to
Appreciate it.
Live. Check it out.